One of the ways that we can generate yield on DeFi is through the swapping of a specific token. But usually what happens with meme coins is that people buy really cheap and they hope for it to sell. Fingers crossed, let's see where it goes. If it pumps to the moon, awesome, we made the 100x. If not, we lose money. Well, you can also provide liquidity to these meme coin pools, and although it's a fairly risky deal, if you choose a solid meme pool, something that we could name as a blue chip meme coin pool, for example, Brett is doing really well on base. And there's many other examples of meme coins that establish themselves in the market. For example, Turbo. Turbo is a great one. I think they're going to do really well. And there's obviously also Pepe, among others. So you get the idea, right? Even if you don't catch the wave from the beginning and you don't ride that to 100x, you can still definitely provide liquidity to those pools, because generally the fee tier that traders will pay for trading on that pool will be 1%. So I'm going to show you how you could find meme coin pools with Gecko Terminal, and for that specific case we're going to take a look at SUI. SUI, I believe they don't have a flagship meme coin right now. So let's see what we can find here down on the list. And by the way, if you want to select by chain, by DEX, not by chain, these are all the DEXs available currently on SUI, at least the ones that are more reputable. And you can see that also Gecko Terminal gives you the info on, for the past 24 hours, the metrics of SUI network. So they had over 332,000 transactions on chain with a volume overall of over $111 million, which altogether makes minus 20% compared to yesterday. SUI is definitely a bullish blockchain. They broke into the top 10 recently, and this minus 20% change wouldn't bother me all that much. So for that, let's go on here and see which of these pools has been having the most amount of transactions for the past 24 hours. Usually that will go hand in hand with volume. So Hippo paired with SUI, this is a meme coin definitely trending. They already broke the cent barrier, so one token of Hippo is worth 1 cent. By the way, guys, I'm not trying to shill any coin here. This is not sponsored. I don't hold a bag of any of these meme coins. I think it's much safer to provide liquidity with solid blue chip assets other than with meme coins, but of course, there's also the opportunity to earn yield on meme coins, right? So Hippo has almost the double of the transactions here of the second place Suiman, and let's just, for out of curiosity, rank these by volume for the past 24 hours. So to see if there's any difference. So yeah, you see, that's what I meant when I said I'd rather provide liquidity to blue chip options. The native token of the network paired with the stablecoin, this is the most traded pair, right? And by the way, on a side note, if you want to set up a portfolio providing liquidity into a specific blockchain or network, what you want to do is also on your portfolio have a solid allocation for the native token paired with, for example, stablecoin or with other blue chip assets such as Solana or Ethereum or BNB. It kind of depends on which chain we're talking about, but definitely a stablecoin paired with the native token of the network that will perform consistently throughout time. All right, so we have Hippo SUI ranking second in 24-hour volume. Then what do we have? We have Deep, then Cetus, Dogai, Blub. Blub, I think it's also a very well-performing meme coin on the SUI chain. Okay, so let's go here on the transactions for the past 24 hours. So we got 3 top meme coins trending, which are Hippo, Suiman, and Dogs. So now let's check the liquidity. Liquidity gives us also an understanding of how strong is this liquidity pool. So Hippo is definitely the best one. It's over $2 million. And in my book, I think the $2 million barrier is a good metric for meme coins, because usually, I'm not saying that's always the case, but usually when they will break that barrier of 2 million, they will not rug. Sometimes they will. I've seen cases of that, but usually that will not be the case. Also, looking here for the metrics for the past 24 hours, you see that Dogs went up 323% in price. They have a very small liquidity pool of $6K, and that's probably because they're still establishing themselves. They'll probably have launched one day, a couple days ago, so there's not all that much liquidity still in it. So let's enter this pool. You see dogs paired with SUI, and yeah, you see the age here. It's showing it has been created 9 hours ago. The GT score, the Gecko Terminal score is 23, so this is definitely an extremely risky option. They had all that earlier pump, then they dumped, and right now they're at the bottom. Alright, so let's go on and see what's happening here with the Hippo SUI pair. The cool thing about Gecko Terminal is that it's the one place to go for trading and providing liquidity to meme coins, in my opinion. If you want to know more about it, I have a full tutorial on how to operate with Gecko Terminal, find the best liquidity pools. A link for that in the description, go check it out. And by the way guys, if you enjoyed this type of content, like and subscribe. So this is a pool that was created 20 days ago. It has deep liquidity for a meme coin, $2.5 million in liquidity roughly, and look at the volume for the past day, almost 12 million, so the volume to TVL ratio is extremely good. So the pool fee for this one is 0.25%. Usually with meme coins we see pool fees of 1%, and that's even better, but that's not the case here. Maybe there's some other liquidity pools. Okay, so you see there's another pool here for Hippo paired with SUI. It's a 1% pool fee tier, but the liquidity is really low. It's $600, a little bit above that. The volume is even lower, so it's not even worth taking a look at it. If you want to know more about the meme coin, and they do have a website, you can have the link here. So you see, really handy, it sends us directly to the meme coin's website. So if you want to take a look at it, you can extremely easily. And one of the things that makes providing liquidity to meme coin very risky is specifically in this case where the pool only has 20 days. So this is a very, very recent meme coin. Usually meme coins die out after a couple of months. And you can see from the price action here that we are still at the peak. We see when it launched it pumped, and right now it's on a downtrend, right? If we switch things up for the 4-hour candle chart, you will see that there's still the peak here back in the 7th of October, and then it's going all the way down. For the past couple of days it seems to be finding the floor, but it's still very early to say if this is the new floor or not. It's going to be extremely risky, and of course there's also the possibility of the price keeps going down, but if it tanks you can still earn yield on the trades that are being made with the pair. So we'll go and see how you can set up ranges, but probably it will not be a good idea to set up the top range to be above of this all-time high. Now let's say we want to provide liquidity to that, then we need to go onto the DEX where this liquidity pool is. Up here you can see it's on Cetus, and we can actually go straight away to that by clicking on the swap icon here. Now from here we'll need to click the Earn tab and then click on Pools because we want to find the pool that has Hippo paired with SUI. It appears that this specific pool has been or is being incentivized with mining rewards paid in both Cetus or Cetus, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, and Hippo. Alright, from here on we need to select ranges. You can see currently the pool APR is 492%, and that is in between fees generated for 153% in fees, and then there's the mining rewards we just took a look at. Okay, so this total APR, I believe it's an average because since it's a concentrated liquidity pool, you can set ranges, but 453% is coming from fees. This itself would already be a printer, guys, but on top of it, we have rewards in Hippo and in Cetus token. So you will already have some established sets for providing liquidity. This would be a conservative one, meaning that the range will be wider. As you can see, if you click it, it says lower yields and lower impermanent loss, less frequent rebalancing. And this is all because the range is wider. Let's see the active. It brings us higher yields but higher impermanent loss potentially, requires frequent rebalancing, If you want to keep generating fees when you go out of range, of course, you can always let it sit when you go out of range and wait for it to come back in. Full range doesn't need to set up ranges, obviously, doesn't need to rebalance, but it will generate you the least amount of fees. And then if you want to set things manually, if you're more experienced, we can go with the custom option. But you can see, for example, conservative offers us a range of minus 100%, roughly it's 99.9, and 205%. So these percentages we're talking about is our bottom and upper ranges, because when we are providing concentrated liquidity, it's like you're looking at the price with the scope, and whenever the price is within your scope limits, you'll be earning fees. If you're a beginner and you want to try out, go with conservative first. Watch some of my content. I will link down below in the related content section. You'll understand more about liquidity pools and yield farming. But if you're just getting started and you want to give it a go, I would advise you to go with the conservative option and then see the results, learn some more, and from there on start to operate things by yourself. But the next step would be just adding on liquidity here with both Hippo and SUI tokens. You can also leverage here, so there's also the option for you to borrow funds, and with that leverage your position, so your initial deposit would be your collateral. But if you are a beginner, I would advise you to stay away from that, especially because this is a meme coin pool, it's highly volatile, and leverage can be very powerful when things go good, but also it can make things go bad really fast. You also have the deposit ratio here. So the deposit ratio will depend on your range. You can see there's 72% Hippo and 28% SUI, but if I change things here, if I play with the range, you see things just got different. So that's also something you need to understand about concentrated liquidity. Where you put your ranges do matter when it comes to the tokens that you will be depositing. So for example, right now we are 50-50 in both assets, but if I put my lower range up, you see that I just increased the amount of Hippo tokens I would need to deposit. And the more you tighten up that range, the more the Hippo tokens you need to deposit will increase. So guys, this is basically how you can yield farm a meme coin, in the case Hippo on the SUI blockchain. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comment section. If you took value from the video, like and subscribe for more of this type of content. Thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.